and what they intend to do with us, in fact, very shortly. How many more ways do you want to be distracted, psychologically traumatized, hypnotized, and spiritually lobotomized, continually playing host to these mental parasites? To tell you the truth, brothers and sisters, at the time, about 1997, 1999, when I began to seriously focus on decoding the content and intent of certain movies, more particularly The Matrix, it was just to alert the next generation about the mindfuck techniques that were out there. Frequencies and subliminal embed technologies used to entrain the mass mind, to simply induce the tactics being used to saturate the mass mind with disruptive holographic dampening fields. It was a teaching hook to get you to wake up to what's being done to you using light-based and sound-based frequencies. And if this next generation of metaphysicians, adepts, and code breakers gets too caught up or preoccupied with deciphering movies, it eventually becomes a squandered waste of precious focus and attention, a distraction from what this generation of scholars and adepts are responsible for accomplishing. You are, brothers and sisters, today the generation of tactical preparation. Let me say that again. You, teachers, are the generation of tactical preparation. That's right, the preparation generation. You got to get us ready. You got to get your children ready. You got to get your generation ready to rock. We were just here to show you what time it was. Now you got the tools. If you ain't going to pick up the weapon and do something with all of this knowledge that we're putting in your hand, if you're not going to pound out this knowledge into a tool, a working weapon, then I'm up here just talking for nothing. It's a paycheck for me. It ain't my life's mission being fulfilled. So if you got somebody constantly popping about what's going on in the movies, I can run down the trailers and tell you what the hell's going to be going on. It's unnecessary right now. I didn't mean to really get you all bogged down in the Matrix. I just showed you that this is the way you can do it. That your everyday life is a matrix. Why don't you hit that? Hit that when you get up in the morning. Do the matrix from the morning you wake up and you open your eyes in the matrix. Start breaking down your life, because that's the matrix. With all that's been entrusted to you and all you brothers and sisters who out there want to teach, with all that was revealed in the ancient and contemporary knowledge, at your immediate disposal, what has this generation done to prepare for themselves and the next generation to follow? Our generation of adepts, Dr. Blair, Bobby, and myself, we were, for want of a better term, the generation of consciousness resurrection. That's all. You all are the generation of tactical preparation. You have to use the knowledge that we brought, what we resurrected about the use of consciousness and how you can use that to make children that can zap the enemy with their minds, can block out all kinds of adverse frequencies that would do anything to shut down their ability to move forward in time and backward in time and sideways in time, just by thinking. We brought you the tools of metaphysical thinking and fourth dimensional problem solving. That's all we did. Whole new tools, because guess what? The threshold that's stopping us from really getting out is here. Once we conquer this barrier, it's over. Can you conquer your hunger when your belly starts calling? Because remember, they put that itch in your stomach for you to eat. Because once you eat, all the blood necessary for you to think goes down there. And another question is delayed in its answer. Why? Because you over there, scratching and feeling that this is real. And you get too worried about death. Nobody wants to die anymore. Everybody's fearful of death. Why? There is no death. That's the illusion, to keep you living. To keep you thinking about living. To keep you thinking about all the things that go along with the illusion. My rent. What the fuck is rent? It's rent so you don't be sleeping out in the street. That's what, nigga. Hey, the birds. I see birds swoop down and eat and just keep on getting up in the trees. I see every animal in my backyard living just fine. Maybe I am just a dreamer. But we want to give you metaphysical tools for the emancipation of your mind energies, not for the preoccupation with psycho-spiritual holographic light-based distractions. The more we become distracted with decoding movies, for example, the more this metaphysical practice cements and fixes our attention into the paradigm spell weaver's own synchronization of reality. And the more we become entrained to respond, to react secondhand vicarious light and sound-based experiences, which all in all become phase-locked addictions to the nerves and chemistries of the body, preventing us from seeing beyond the final analysis we've made of the movie itself. This is why I'd like to utilize your attention while you're here to download for your scrutiny and download for your attention a different application for your metaphysical mind. A somewhat more practical application of that which has emerged from years of metaphysical insight and analytical oversight. I'd like to amplify our discernment inward, away from the obvious distractions created by the consciousness synchronizers to delay our escape. Our escape through the only portal doorway that leads to true escape and freedom. The portal that they have been distorting and polluting to keep you in light code lockdown. The subatomic portal in your body called the cell. To understand the metaphysics of ascension and true freedom, we must analyze the role of the cell in the operation of consciousness. Analyze it and analyze its present programming, its present molecular atomic orientation, or its subatomic spatial agreement. What do I mean by that? The subatomic spatial agreement of the electrons around the atom is telling you at what level your consciousness is operating on. So, in third density, there is a specific spatial relationship of the atom to its electron. And what happens is you are in a third density, and that's what I meant, third density dimensions. Dimensions mean density. In that third density, your consciousness operates according to how many atoms can occupy a specific, what? Quote unquote, space. Just think about that for a minute. Your subatomic spatial agreement. By programming the matrix, modular orientation and subatomic spatial agreement, we mean the present spin orientation taken by the atom and its electron and how their respective groupings come together to form the present gravitational reference points holding together the cellular molecular shell housing human consciousness. Thus, I'm saying the respective groupings coming together to form the present gravitational reference points. So it is gravity and how gravity is used within space that constitutes how your consciousness will view its experience within that density envelope. Now the trick is, you don't know that you have been compressed into a space that is allowing for only a certain amount of light to escape as well as to get in. So all of the consciousness that's being beamed through the sun, which is essentially a consciousness computer. What is light except consciousness and intelligence? And if the sun itself is a processor of consciousness on a specific level, and it itself is going through its own evolution towards becoming an earth, that's where you get the Adam or Eve being created from the rib of Adam, the rib being what you see as the light spokes of Amen, or the sun itself, Ra. If after 10 trillion years you wait around a little while, you will see that that sun will burn out, its mass will begin to constrict, and